Hello, so nice to meet you at this daily motivational meeting reading quotes from World Scriptures. We read these powerful quotes to empower you with the day for the day with the very powerful quotes that help billions of people and will help you too. Please find all the chapters at our Message to Billions channel. And today chapter is about emptiness nirvana. Emptiness nirvana, the ultimate state of inner peace in Buddhism, is a state without self, without passion, without desire. It's a state beyond thought, beyond words, beyond the intellectual attempt to grasp what it is. Yet paradoxically, in this emptiness, there is fullness, fearlessness, and enlightenment. It is a marvelous mystical state, almost impossible to describe. Faramon calls the state of emptiness a zero point. He explained its mystical feeling as a resonant connection with God, who also dwells in emptiness when he created the world. Father Moon also teaches an active way of self-emptying in the service to others, self-giving, living to others, giving even when it is difficult to give. These practices can lead to the zero point just as surely as meditation. Let's go the quotes. All states are without self. When one sees this in wisdom, then he becomes dispassionate toward the painful. This is the path to purity. Another one, the man of the way wins no fame. The higher virtue wins no gain. The great man has no self. When egoism exists, thou art not experienced. And where thou art is not egoism. Torah abides only with him who regards himself as nothing. And the plane of high heaven is not a specific place localized here or there, but refer rather to a pure state without any anomaly or excess. In terms of the human body, it is a state within the human breath without thought, contemplation, or passion. This is peace, this is excellent, namely the calm of all the impulses, the casting out of all bases, the extinctions of craving, dispassion, stopping nirvana. When a man is free from all sense pleasure and depends on nothingness, he is a free in the supreme freedom from perception. He will stay there and not return again. It is like a flame struck by a sudden gust of wind. In a flash, it has gone out and nothing more can be known about it. It is the same with a wise man freed from mental existence. In a flash, he has gone out and nothing more can be known about him. When a person has gone out, then there is nothing by which you can measure him. That by which he can be talked about is no longer there for him. You cannot say that he does not exist. Um, when all ways of being, all phenomena are removed, then all ways of description have also been removed. For him who has completed the journey, for him who is sorrowless, for him who from everything is wholly free, for him who has destroyed all ties that fever a passion exists not. He whose senses are subdued like seeds, well trained by a charioteer, he whose pride is destroyed and is free from the corruption, such a steadfast one even the gods call dear. Like the earth, a balanced and well disciplined person resent not. He is like a pool unsullied by mud, to such a balance one life's wandering do not arise. Claim is his mind, calm is his mind, and calm is his speech, calm is his action. Who rightly know is wholly freed from the defilements, perfectly peaceful and equipoised. The man who is not credulous but truly understands the uncreated Nibbana, who has cut off the links, who has put an end to occasion of good and evil, who has achieved all desire, he indeed is a supreme man. Another quote, he or Sharipura from experience and the very emptiness from the emptiness does not differ from form. Form does not differ from emptiness. Whatever is form, that is emptiness. Whatever is emptiness, that is form. The same is true of feeling, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. He or Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They are not produced or stopped, not defiled or immaculate, nor deficient or complete. Therefore, O Sariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, nor perception, nor impulse, nor consciousness. There is no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path. There is no cognition, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, O Sharipatra, it is because of this indifference to any kind of personal attainment that Bodhisattva, through having related on the perfection of wisdom, dwells without thought covering. In the absence of thoughts covering, he has not been made to tremble. He has overcome that can upset, and in the end, he attains to nirvana. Nan Po Tsukwe said to the woman, Niyu, you are old and yet your complexion is like that of a child. How is it this? Niyu replied, I have learned Tao. Could I get the Tao by study it? Asked the other. I fear not, said Niu Yi. You are not the sort of person. There was Puliang Yi. He had the qualification of a sage, so I began teaching him. In 3 days, all distinctions of high and low, good and bad, had ceased to exist. 7 days more, and the eternal world had ceased to be. In 9 more days, he became unconscious of his own existence. He first became ethereal, next possessed to the perfect wisdom, when without past and present, and finally was able to enter where life and death are no more, where killing does not take away life, nor does giving birth add to it. In that state, there is nothing he does not welcome, nothing he does not send off, nothing he does not destroy, nothing he does not construct. This is to be at peace in strife. He who can be at peace in strife is the way to perfection. The perfect way is only difficult for those who pick and choose, do not like, do not dislike, all will then be clear. Make a hairbreadth difference, and heaven and earth are set apart. If you want the truth to stand clear before you, never be for or against. The struggle between for and against is the mind's worst desire, while the deep meaning is misunderstood it is unless to meditate on rest. Yet the original mind is blank and featureless in space. As at the ultimate point beyond which you can go no further. You get to where there are no rules, no standards, there to where thou can accept impartially, to where effect of action ceases, doubt is washed away, belief has no obstacle, nothing is left over, nothing remembered, space is bright, but self-illuminated, no power of mind is exerted, nor indeed could the merit bring us to such a place, nor could sense of feeling comprehend it. It is that truly so, the transcendent sphere where there is neither he or nor I. For swift converse with this sphere, use the concept not to. In the not to are no separate things, yet all things are included. The wise throughout the 10 quarters have had the access to this primal truth. For it is not a thing with extension in time or space. A moment and an iron for it are one. Wherever we see it or fail to see it is in manifest always there everywhere. The ever small is as the very large when bound arise forgotten. The very large is as the very small when it is outlined are not seen. Being is an aspect of non-being. Non-being is the aspect of being. In climes of thoughts where it is not so, the mind does yield to dwell. The one is no other than the all. The all no one other than the one. Take your stands on this, and the rest will follow of its own accord. To trust in the heart is the known to, the known to is trust in the heart. I have spoken but in vain, but for what can word tell? Or things that have no yesterday, tomorrow, or today. Further, let's read the quotes from the Reverend Samuel Moon, Second Guy Messiah. While seeking for absolute love, you should not have consciousness of self. If we could totally subjugate our body, it, if your actions were always in conformity with our will, then we would not need the religion. Jesus came in order to correct the disunity between the mind and the body. This is also the purpose of the Buddha's teachings. We should return to the state of nothingness at the 0 point. If the mind and body are united, you do not feel any distinction. Why should we return to a state of emptiness? It is so we may experience being in a state of emptiness, the 0 point. There emerges a counterpart with whom you can be in total harmony. Hence, at the 0 point, you can experience being 100%. God dwells in the King 0 point. Since God has such a nature, to meet him you must become even lower than 0. Then you must guard that King 0 point. The King 0 point is like the mind. As the flesh surrounds the mind, you should surround the protect the 0 point. Have you reached the state where you can guard the 0 point? Can you go even lower than the 0 point? This is what Buddhist meditation is about, to search the God-like mind for the deepest point. The self-centered ego has nothing to do with the ideal of creation. Therefore, we should completely deny ourselves. In order to find the true self, we should place ourselves at the 0 point. That is the only place where we can be totally united, mind and body. When God created us, He was in a state of total mind-body unity. He was in a state of total self-giving with absolute love and absolute faith. God has no space to think of His own benefit or situation. Herein lies the origin of love. It is the state of 100% giving and living for the sake of others. Where do you think you can find your true self? You find it by practicing a life of true love, always living for the sake of others. If you dwell at the 0 point, denying yourself while living for the sake of your family, all humankind throughout the world, and God, you will find your true self without doubt. It is our inevitable destiny to do so as we walk the path of restoration which leads to salvation. Although we yearn for God and seek to love Him as the subject of our faith, our experiences of Him is vague and indistinct. We still wonder, where can we find God? Although He is definitely present, we cannot perceive Him with the certainty that we perceive things with our five physical senses. How then can we see God? We do not being by looking at God, but rather by looking into ourselves. When we look into ourselves, we find that we exist as a mind and body. We should not focus on the body, but look into our mind. Among our thousand fallen people, their fundamental nature may be the same, but each one has a different mind, a different personality, each with different qualities. When drawing a circle, you first draw a horizontal line and then a vertical line. From the point where they intersect, you draw the circle around it, starting from 1 degree, 2 degree, and finally covering all 360 degrees. The horizontal line and the vertical line determines 90-degree angle. How then do we make our mind a perfect circle? Depending on their personalities, each person draws their horizontal line in a different place. Just as our faces are different from one another, our inborn nature are different. When drawing our circle throughout 360 degrees, we begin from a 0 degrees and trace it based on that standard. However, if the baseline of our mind is not properly fixed, we will not have the proper standard for measuring the degrees of the circle. Indeed, the baseline of people's mind are not the same. Why? As people faces interest and feeling differ, they each draw their horizontal and vertical lines in a different way. How then can you form a circle covering all 360 degrees? You should find the 0 point where you is your 0 point. Everyone has one. It is within yourself, within core of your heart. There you will find it. When you draw a horizontal line from the 0 point, you can properly fix the vertical line perpendicular to it. We are to stand as object partner before God, our subject partner. Surely He has endowed human beings with a base to respond to Him as object partners. Therefore, upon the base of the horizontal mind, we should find the vertical direction, the true perpendicular. Surely there must be one. You see the horizon in 2 dimensions. but if you try to estimate the perpendicular you measure could easily be off the mark. How can you find the accurate measure? If your horizontal is too high, you must lower it. If it is too low, you must raise it to fix at the 0 point. In an electrical power plant, there are many meters and each one is calibrated to a 0 point. That neutral point must be set properly in order to adjust the positive and negative voltage and to measure the power levels. We too must accurately calibrate our 0 point. Where is our 0 point located? It is position that exists but seemingly does not exist. People who practice Zen meditation say that they attain that of no self. That is what I'm talking about. We should reach the spiritual standard, the 0 point state. Once we attain it, our horizontal standard will become responsible, responsive to all things. Yes, so great quotes for today to attain the 0 point and nirvana. If you not attain it today, please watch one more time this video to understand how to do it. And comment this video how these quotes helping you. Wish you a great blessed day today. Don't forget to share this video as we end this Billion Happy Life Subscribers Marathon with all your friends, and contact me for cooperation, consulting, and become a member of this Heavenly Parents Holy Community globally. Stay happy, healthy. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. All the best. Bye-bye.